organization requires well qualified and motivated staff to function effectively. This part of management, which includes recruitment, selection, training, motivation, compensation, integration, etc. of the staff, is called personnel management or human resource management. Procurement of staff consists of manpower planning, recruitment, selection, and placement. In the previous lesson, we have discussed about manpower planning or human resource planning, which means scientifically estimating the number and type of employees that the organization will require during a specific period of time in future. Once the needs for staff are determined, the process of recruitment then begins. So in this lesson, we would be discussing about what do we mean by recruitment, what are its characteristics or features, and then the sources of recruitment. Now, what is meant by recruitment? It is the process of identifying the sources of required staff and contacting the sources to attract the sufficient number of candidates from which the choice can be made. Which means it's a process of searching for prospective employees and stimulating them to apply for jobs in the organization. This is a process in which we discover the sources of manpower to meet the requirements of the staffing schedule and to employ effective measures for attracting that manpower in sufficient number to facilitate effective selection process. That means after recruitment, the next process in staffing is selection. So in order to make selection successful, we need to go for this recruitment process wherein we try to stimulate a large pool of candidates to come and apply for the vacant job positions in the organization. Thus, recruitment has certain characteristics. First is, it's a series of activity, which means recruitment is a process and not a one-time act. It has several activities to be performed. Second, it's a linking activity as it brings together those with jobs, that is employers, and those seeking jobs, that is prospective candidates or employees. Third is, it's a positive function because it seeks to develop a pool of eligible employees or eligible candidates from which the most suitable one will be selected. So we call it as a positive function. Fourth is, it helps to locate the sources. Recruitment helps to meet job requirements and to attract such people to offer themselves for employment in the organization. Fifth, recruitment is an important function as it makes it possible to acquire the number and the type of persons necessary for the continued functioning of the organization. Next, recruitment is a pervasive function, which means it is needed in all organization. It is required in every organization irrespective of its size, nature and environment. Seventh point is, it's a two-way process. It takes a recruiter and a recruitee. Just as recruiter has a choice whom to recruit or not, Similarly, the prospective employees can choose for which organization to apply for a job. It's a two-way process, which means. Last is, recruitment is a complex job because we have to consider too many factors. For example, some of the factors could be image of the organization, nature of job offered, organizational policies, working conditions and compensation level in the organization, growth rate of the organization, employment condition, trade union attitudes, labor laws, culture and environment, and government policies also to be considered before we identify any source of recruitment. Thus, it is a very complex process. Now, recruitment involves three main activities. First is identifying the sources. The sources from which the sufficient number of qualified candidates can be obtained. Second is assessing the suitability, which means we have to study the suitability of different sources and choose the most appropriate source. Third is contacting the chosen sources and encouraging the prospective candidates to offer themselves for employment in the organization. Recruitment means inducing or attracting more and more candidates to apply for vacant job positions in the organization. Thus, in general words, we can say recruitment means searching for candidates who can perform the vacant roles and inducing them to apply and come forward for filling the vacant roles in the organization. Thus, we have two sources of recruitment, internal source and external source. Now, what is internal source of recruitment? Under this source, the vacant job positions are filled by inducing the existing employees of the organization. The vacant job positions are filled by using existing employees only, are called internal source. Whereas external source means when the candidates are being selected or called for from outside the organization, they are invited to fill the vacant positions, is known as external recruitment. When the organization meets its manpower requirement from outside the organization, it is called external recruitment. So, you can see there are various sources of internal as well as external sources of recruitment. So, we will discuss the internal as well as external sources one by one. Under internal sources, we have promotion, transfer, ex-employees, and recommendations by employees. First, let's discuss what is meant by promotion. Promotion refers to shifting of employees from one job position to another with higher level of authority. In promotion, the authority level, the rank, responsibilities of the employees and prestige improves or increases. Generally, with the promotion, there is an increase in compensation or salary also. So, we can call this as a vertical movement. That is, the position of the employee changes from a lower job to a higher job. Example can be the promotion of a clerk to an accountant position. Next is transfer. Transfer means shifting of employees from one job position to another at the same level of authority. Generally, with the transfers, there is no change in the compensation level, and authority level. There is no change even in his rank, responsibilities and prestige in the organization. Only the place of working is changed. For example, transfer of a clerk from accounts department to purchase department, or transfer of a staff from a factory to a branch. Third is ex-employees. In some cases, people who were earlier in the company's employment may be re-employed. They are called ex-employees. They may come back on their own, or either the company may contact them and offer them a job. The fourth is recommendations by employees. Applicants who have been introduced by existing employees. The applicants can be the friends or relatives and they are proved to be a good source of recruitment. Such applicants are likely to be good employees because their background is partly known. A type of preliminary screening takes place because the present employees know both the company and the candidate, and they would try to satisfy both. This kind of a recruitment is applicable in family-owned concerns where preferences are given to candidates' recommendation for recruiting employees in the organization. Now let's discuss external sources of recruitment. The first is advertisements. As we all know, the most common and popular method of recruitment is advertisement. And by advertisement, we mean informing in newspapers, magazines, journal, radio, television and other media, which is most widely spread and used for staff recruitment. Whenever an organization wants to fill in the job vacancies, it may issue advertisements giving details of the job to be filled in and the qualifications required for it. For example, for the job of an accountant, the advertisement can be given in Chartered Accountant Journal, and for unskilled and lower rank job positions, the advertisements can be given in local or regional newspapers. Both for high rank and skilled job positions, the advertisements are given in the national level reputed newspapers such as Times of India, Hindustan Times, etc. Employment News is a special newspaper which contains only job advertisements from public sector and private sector organizations in our country. Next is campus recruitment. Sometimes the senior managers of the organizations visit various professional colleges, technical institutes to get fresh graduates or the people with the latest technological know-how. This type of recruitment is more common for engineers, computer programmers, MBAs, IITs and IIMs. Jobs nowadays have become highly technical and requires well-educated persons. Therefore, this is one of the most convenient and inexpensive means of recruitment for business houses. The next is employment exchanges. Government employment exchanges acts as the middleman between the job seekers and the organizations who have vacant job positions. The job seekers leave their biodatas or resumes and the details of their qualifications with the employment exchanges, and when the organization approaches these employment exchanges, the suitable candidates are being sent. Employment exchanges sometimes also carry screening for the employers and they get a list of qualified candidates. The employers does not have to spend money on advertisements. Some employment exchanges also provide counseling and research services, but the records of the employment exchanges are generally outdated, and many of the candidates referred by them do not turn up for the interviews. The next type of external source is placement agencies. Several recruitment agencies like ABC Consultants, A.F. Ferguson's Associates, B.S.B. Billimore Company, etc. provide recruitment and selection services. Under these placement agencies, or we can also call them as management consultants, they provide a nationwide service of matching demand and supply of workforce. These agencies invite the biodata and record for various job seekers and send them to suitable clients. These agencies even charge a fee for providing such services. These are a kind of employment exchanges run by private enterprises. The employer can hire such an agency to do the complete job of recruitment for them. These agencies sometimes screen the applicants. They even sometimes select suitable persons or shortlist them. This in turn saves the time and efforts and gets the benefits of the agency expertise. Mostly the identities of the placement agencies are kept secret, and the placement agencies, as we said, they charge a substantial fee for the services that they are rendering. The next in the list is casual callers. Casual callers are in many reputed business organizations. They get several applications or resumes or biodatas in their offices, which are known as unsolicited applicants. Such job seekers can be a valuable source of manpower. A waiting list of such visitors may be prepared, and they may be screened to fill the vacancies as and when they arise. The advantage of this source of recruitment is that it avoids the cost of recruitment from other sources. The unsolicited applicants are an important and valuable source of data or candidates for the organization. The next source is known as gate hiring or direct recruitment. Under this source, the organization pastes a notice at the gate of their office or factory or maybe a workshop stating the vacant job positions. The people who are interested in those jobs walk in for interviews. This method of external recruitment is mostly suitable for unskilled job positions. That is important in here. It is used for unskilled job position. Example, sweepers, peons, etc. Even fitters, welders, turners. It is used in small workshops even. Job seekers mostly assemble outside the premises of the organization and are being selected on the spot. That is why it is called to be a direct recruitment or factory gate or gate hiring. Example, recruitment of soldiers in the army is done at the Bharti Daftar. The last external source of recruitment is labor contractors. Labor contractors are those people who contact and have a close list of laborers, and they can provide the required number of workers in a very short span of time. In some cases, employees themselves serve as contractors for the supply of workers. Labor contractors constitute an important source of recruitment in many industries in India. Just take the example of construction business, where the contractors have a large list of workers who would be working for them. They are even called by different names such as Sardars, Mukaddams, Thekedars, etc.
1.
These contractors bring the laborers from villages and supply to the businessmen. They charge a commission for their services. This is mostly suitable for unskilled or labor class. So these were the sources of recruitment, internal and external. Next, let us discuss the difference between internal and external source of recruitment. Both the sources have certain advantages and certain disadvantages. Let us discuss first internal source of recruitment. Under internal source of recruitment, we can say that this source is very familiar, or in here we know the people very well because the people are being, or the employees are being selected internally from the organization. It proved to be an economical source because we hardly have to spend any money on testing, interviewing, reference checks, etc. It consumes a very less amount of time because internally we can get the person on a very short span of time. This helps in motivating, and it even improves the morale of the employees, and it induces loyalty and commitment among the employees, existing employees. It also helps in better utilization of the existing talent, or it even helps in identifying the innate or the latent talent in the employees. Now, there are certain disadvantages to the internal source of recruitment. We have a very limited choice. That is, sometimes even unsuitable candidates be promoted to higher positions who are actually not able to take up the higher responsibilities. Inbreed, which means it results in inbreeding, and no fresh talent comes from outside. No people or new employees are being appointed from outside who have or who can give a new outlook or who can come with a fresh ideas for the business. This results in lack of competition because people become very lethargic and they are sure that there would be time-bound promotions for them. It also results in sometimes conflicts amongst the staff because people may want to be promoted for the higher promotion, or people may want transfers. There might be certain clashes and confusions among the existing staff member on whom to promote and whom not to. Okay, and at the end we can also say that this is not a complete source in itself, because at any point of time a person from outside would be required in internal source of recruitment, because it vacates an internal position and fills in another position. Now let us discuss external source of recruitment. The advantages are we have a wide variety of choice in external source of recruitment. It infuses new blood, that is new employees we are talking about over here, new employees into the organization. It leads to healthy and stiff competition among existing employees. Everybody would be working hard, and it is a source of recruitment for a new enterprise, wherein an enterprise is entirely new. They have to go for external source of recruitment. There is no other choice that they have. Let us come with the disadvantages. First, it results in frustration among the staff when somebody from outside is being appointed as the boss or superior, would result in frustration among the existing team members. It is a time consuming process, yes, because recruitment and selection requires lots of steps, and it takes a lot of time, several interviews and examinations and reference checks have to be conducted. It is obviously very expensive means of recruitment source, because we have to spend time, not just time, we have to spend a lot of money in all the processes of recruitment. We have to either give money for advertisement in newspapers, journals, or we have to give money to the consultants. So it obviously is costly than internal source. And the last point is uncertainty. Why we call it as uncertain is because there is no guarantee that the enterprise will get the required number and quality of employee as it has ascertained, as it has thought of. It is not necessary that it would get the required number and the kind of people that it was looking for. Okay, so these are the differences between internal and external source of recruitment. Hope you are clear with these topics. Thank you.